Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to share with you all the types of shoes that I prefer for the squat, bench, and deadlift. We'll run through the two types of shoes that I wear and kind of why I choose these two shoes, along with some alternatives that you all might be interested in and kind of the pros and cons of each. So let's go ahead and start with the squat, right? To squat, I use the Nike Romaleos. These are specifically the Romaleo 3s. I have used the Romaleo 2s before, and I am considering getting a pair of the 4s just to be able to compare. What I will say, why I like these 3s possibly the best, is they are considerably lighter than the 2s while still offering the same stability. And that kind of brings in my first point. Whenever you're choosing a shoe for the squat, bench, or deadlift, specifically the squat that we're talking about here, one of the main concerns that you should have is stability of your foot. Because if you're squatting down and your foot's rocking from side to side, right, then you're going to have an inefficient power transfer in your squat movement. And that instability can lead to, one, less weight lifted, and then two, potential injury, as forces can be put on ligaments and things where they're not supposed to be. That's why I prefer the Romaleos. You can see the sole is flanged out, and what that does is, as soon as it's on the ground, there's no rocking back and forth of your foot. I almost imagine it like a suction cup, right? You are on the floor. With that said, you cannot physically rock back on your heels very well. So if you're someone who has that tendency, it's going to be a little strange. Also, I do like this Velcro strap. So you fasten your shoes by tying them, and then as an extra security, you can pull the Velcro strap across, and that'll kind of lock things in. As far as sizing goes, I really like to size down a little bit. Normally I wear Nike size 14s. For the weightlifting shoes, I wear 13s just so that it can be a little more snug. And whenever I get to my deadlifting shoe, I size down even more. And I'll talk about why. But one of the main selling points, other than the stability, is also the heel. So be aware, if you go for the Nike Romaleos, they have a 0.75 inch heel for your squat. And what that does is it's going to elevate your heel. It'll allow for your knee to travel a little bit more forward than your flexibility would otherwise allow with a flat shoe. And usually that can help you sit down. Now, depending on the style of squatter you are, that could be beneficial or not. For me personally, the stability trumps all. I'm not as worried about the heel. If there was a flat-soled shoe that had the same stability, I would deeply consider switching, or it'd be a harder choice. But because the weightlifting shoes are the only option for that stability, then this is a no-brainer for me. As far as some potential other choices, right? I know there's the Addy Powers. Adidas has another powerlifting shoe or weightlifting shoe that I can't remember the name right now, but it's a slightly lower heel. But from my understanding, it's less stable. It's just more of a wedge than a heel. And then also Rogue, which I think they work with Reebok to make a weightlifting shoe as well, but that's a 1 inch heel, so it's going to be slightly higher with that same stability. With the Romaleos, you get that 3/4 of an inch heel, which in my opinion is a nice middle ground. I will say, as far as construction goes, these have held up very well. These are probably 5 years old at this point, and just nominal wear and tear, maybe a little bit of wear on the Velcro and over here and on the ties, but this has held up extremely well for use. I've squatted 700 plus pounds, Lord knows how many times at this point. That leads me into bench. I'm a little bit on the fence. I've always benched in these because of that stability. In my federation, you need the heels to be flat. But I've recently switched, and I'll use that as my transition, to benching in my flat-soled shoes that I use for deadlift. And these shoes are just simple Nike wrestling shoes. I don't even know the name of the style at this point. These were probably 30 or 40 bucks. My last point I'll make with the Romaleos, they are pricey, right? Expect to pay $200 to $300 for a pair of these, but like I said, they're going to last 5+ years if you treat them well. Same thing here with the wrestling shoe. I've had these since 2016, so these are 7 years old at this point. Still kicking. I always deadlift in them. The reason I deadlift in them is the flat sole. Mechanically, you do not want to deadlift in a heel. It's going to give you an artificial deficit, which is further that you have to pull the bar, and that just doesn't make any logical sense, right? You want to be as close to the ground as possible, and a wrestling shoe will do that while giving as much grip as possible. These, I size them down a good bit. I think I wear, these are a 12, and these are snug, almost uncomfortably so on my foot. But because I'm so cramped, it makes me feel like I'm kind of one with the floor, to use kind of a weird term there. But I have really enjoyed using these to deadlift. I've used Chuck Taylors before, but once again, Chucks have this little, sole that's going to put you on a slight deficit. And whenever you're talking about maximal loads and competitions that come down to 1% or 0.5% differences between lifters, that little deficit can matter. So I really prefer wrestling shoes. Honestly, you could go with any wrestling shoe. It doesn't have to be this specific brand. And I really like the Velcro up top just for the extra security. To circle back around for bench for 1 second, you could use either of these. I know a lot of people prefer these. I've started playing around with this, but I'm still not totally sold on it, so I'll have to keep you all posted as far as that goes. Alright, so if you're interested in either of these shoes, check the link in my bio. I have an Amazon affiliate link if you purchase through there, but otherwise, I am not affiliated obviously with Nike. There are plenty of other choices, but these are my preferences. Okay, so hopefully that helped you all and provided some clarity as far as what shoes I wear and why I choose to wear them. Comment down below, do you wear heels to squat or not? I personally prefer heels. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming out, and happy lifting.